Bobo pulls up in a pink Cadillac, 2 white women, one on each arm, floor-length leather coat in July, and they're like, this is our guy.
Yeah.
This is Captain America. It's Bobo Brazil. No bigger star in the universe shines brighter than this man for these nerdy children in Long Island.
Of course.
And they go, Bobo, will you sign this? And he goes, okay. And he signs an autograph, and he touches all of their shoulders. He said, I don't know how he did it, but there's 4 of us, and he held all of us like we were just one like bar. And he goes, stay in school, kids. Stay in school. And he walked away, and they all stood there speechless. And Marty turned to his friend Alan and goes, we can leave school? And they never went back. They never dawned on them that you could leave school.
He made a choice. Bobo Brazil ruined their lives. That's the saddest. Yeah, I remember him. He was quite a.
Did you hear specimen. Opie and Anthony when I called? I made the Iron Sheik so mad he walked out.
No.
He was in studio and he pissed his pants. You haven't seen any of this on YouTube? The Iron Sheik just sitting in the studio with piss in his pants. He's got a real bad alcohol problem and delusion problem. And he's in studio, and I just called up one day. And I'm with my baby, feeding him at 6 a.m. on the West Coast. And I'm like, who's in studio? The E-Rock? And he goes, it's the Iron Sheik. I go, let me put him on. Tell him I'm a big fan. And they go, big fan, Jay Mohr. I go, hey, you son of a bitch. I'm right outside. When he come outside and say it to my face, I'll fucking kick the shit out of you. And he goes, fuck you, you motherfucker. Fuck you in your ass. And he kept telling me he was going to fuck me in my ass on the phone. That's his I'll punch your face. And he goes, I'll fuck your ass, make you suck my cock, put you in fucking camel clutch. I'm champ one in the world, make you suck cock, fuck you in your ass. Cause I'm champ one. I go, come on, I'm right here, man. He goes, I'm here too. Fuck you. I go, come on, I'm fucking sick of your shit. Let's do it, you fake champion. Come on out. He goes, fuck you, you motherfucker, you in your ass. And he just kept saying that over and over. And it's on YouTube. And he rips that stupid chic. What do you call that shit they put over their head?
Yeah, like his, what?
Like what a Saudi would wear over their head?
Yeah.
And he goes to rip it over his head, but he gets stuck over his face.
Oh, no.
So it's and then he runs out of the studio, and his manager's like, he's really trying to get his life together, guys. This isn't cool. And I go, all right, I'll see you guys later. And I hang up. And they're just chasing the Iron Sheik through the hallways of Sirius Radio. Oh God, it's fun.
I wonder if he's involved in this whole, there's this whole Iranian hit on the Saudi ambassador.
I
wonder if the Sheik is somehow involved.
Fuck you in your ass, champ one. It's a weird accent.
The camel clutch, too.
I
forgot about the camel clutch.
The pointy shoes. And instead of saying champion, you have to say champ one.
Champ one. Yeah.
That's a weird accent.
Well, there's a lot of conflict with him. It goes back a long way with Sergeant Slaughter. They used to bring out Sergeant Slaughter come out. First, the Sheik would come out, we'd be booing. It was right there. How do you think it felt to be like one of the hostages in Iran? And meanwhile, on American wrestling, they have this guy coming out, and people are kind of mocking the whole Iranian-American conflict. You're sitting in a cell for a year.
Those poor guys. Did you ever read any of their books? The guys that were in the Iran?
No.
I don't know how we downshifted into this. You and I could do this every day. This is great.
Yeah.
But not for free. Let's get paid at doing this.
Yeah.
Patrice was like, see, you were all about the money. I'm like, no, I'm not. Who is it? You got to pay your mortgage.
Like money.
In your case, rent. Well, whatever.
Sure.
You want? Here's the thing with those guys that were hostages in Iran. They were held in those gray, shitty, little cells, but that they all went so crazy that they. You never read any of their books?
No.
I'll look them up for you if you want. You'd love them.
I love that kind of stuff, yeah.
And one guy made a symphony in his head.
Wow.
And he memorized it, and it was like a 3-hour symphony. And he had, it took him 2 years to finish his symphony, like how you would write a symphony.
Sure.
Another guy had a garden in his mind. And he planted every day and watched stuff. Wow. And he dug stuff. And they were there, I think it was maybe 2 years, those guys. Oh, it was a long time. You would know better than me. You're the history buff, Mr.
Yeah.
Broadway. Long story short.
I think they were only there for 2 years.
But one day, they brought them a plate of fruit. And no one ate the fruit because it was red, it was orange, it was yellow, and the grapes were green. And they just had bags over their head, and they sat in gray cells and sat in their own piss for 2 years. That when someone gave them and they ate bread and hummus.
Right.
And then when someone would give them an apple, they just stared at it like they were on acid.
It's like when you open mic or at the Comedy Cellar. Anyway, same diet.
Yeah.
So they looked at it, they just loved it too much?
It was bright red. It was the most beautiful thing in the world. It was red. It had a stem. It was red. And then it turned green and weird. And they brought, like there was a pineapple.
I got to read that.
And it wasn't until afterwards they realized they did the same stuff. I tell you, being a hostage is wacky.
They see each other. You had the garden. I had the symphony.
Oh my God. Hey, I thought I heard music when I was planting the hydrangea. Was that you? Like, no, was it me, you creep? I was all the way across town. Your stand-up I've always loved. You're one of the guys, you told a great story on Unmasked with Ron Bennington that Dennis Miller said to you, hey, Quinn, there's something missing about your act, and I just can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know why I made him sound like fucking Fred. I didn't know how to ruin service.
Something's wrong with your act.
What name was I just trying to say?
Paul Lind.
I didn't know how to root service. Hey, Quinn, there's something wrong with your act. I can't put my finger in it.
Yeah. No, you go in my finger. Yeah. Yeah. I'm one of those guys that, I was always a dog whistle. I was always there for only comedians could hear me. Comedians always hear me.
Get closer to the mic.
The comics could always hear me.
Push it like this, and then you don't have to keep
Holy Christ. Yeah, comedians were always, my biggest fans.
My wife pointed out how sitcoms are so... I'm always the guy like, wow, it's a sitcom, it's great. She goes, don't you understand how awful this is? This whole... And I said, why? She goes, when you do a sitcom in front of a live audience, if you just stand there and wait, they'll laugh and applaud because they go, oh, this is what jokes... The rhythm is that cadence.
Sure.
And I always say in my act about sitcoms, like you basically walk into a stranger's house, go right to the refrigerator and go, hey, who ate all my avocados? And then you walk out. Like that's the whole gag as the neighbor. Because I've only been the lead once briefly. Right. But as the neighbor, you walk in, you look for the cereal, and then you leave.
Yeah.
You're Kramer.
Right.
And
you're Kramer.
There's Jerry. Yeah. N-bomb. And then there's SUNY Farmingdale. But there's this rhythm to stand-up that sucks, that we all know.
Right.
Like Jeff Dunham and Peanut, okay. Jeff Dunham, when he had Peanut, the thing was a joke would go over the audience's head, and Peanut would go, and do that motion with the hand going over the head.
Sure.
But now he does it whether it goes over their head or not. It's just what he does. He goes, hey, it's good to be here. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. There's a rhythm. There's a rhythm to stand-up comedy. Unless you're telling stories, then there's no rhythm. And then you're completely engrossed in your headliner that you've chosen to see tell you that story. What I've liked about you from the day, you and I have always gotten along. And
I remember when you were 17.
When you were doing stand-up, I loved it. And comic, I think what it is we all know how funny you are, and we all respect the fact that you don't have that pattern that we all needed to make something work. You went up there, and you were like the Thelonious Monk. You played the black keys and the off notes, and we knew it was funny. And to the people that just came in from out of town, they're like, I guess it's just animating.
Yeah.
Do you feel that about yourself?
That was a beautiful thing. Thank you. Thelonious Monk. I love it, too. Plus, the reference at the end was beautiful. I don't feel it, but I always knew. I'm sure I told Ron Bennington, when I was doing comedy, if it wasn't for the comedians, I would have left comedy early because I was bombing so badly.
And Ron said, now, if only there were more comedians in each city.
Yes, exactly.
That would buy tickets. I remember you did a story about, I didn't know there was art at Rikers Island, first of all. There was
shows?
No, Matisse. Like there was some prison where there was very fancy art, like $1 million paintings. They thought it was going to help these men become rehabilitated to expose them to the arts.
I don't know about that. That wasn't me.
No, it was you. And you said one of them was stolen. It was in the newspaper. It was in all the papers. You remember the war, Johnny? It was in all the papers. Who did I just say?
I don't know.
It's Goebbels when he was on.
Was it
Carson with Dean Martin? I was in the war. You remember the war, Johnny? It was in all the papers. I don't know why you laughed. But you said...
I love that.
You said And it was in
Johnny was in all the paper.
Yeah, and he goes, they stationed me in Norman, Oklahoma, and I don't know why you laugh, but not one Japanese aircraft made it past Tulsa. And meanwhile, Dean's flicking the cigarette in the guy's drink the whole time. And Goebbels thinks he's killing.
Right.
But he doesn't know they're laughing because Dean's doing the cigarette in his drink.
That's fucked up.
Poor Goebbels.
Yeah.
They're all dead now anyway.
That's a scumbag move, though.
Hey,
Meredith.
it's a beautiful baby.
Well, hey, God. Muscles.
Yeah. He's going to give you a big smile. So you said this on stage. I think it was at the Cellar, and I pissed my pants laughing. And there was no, like I said, there was no rhythm. There was no poetry like A, B, A, B, C, A, B. You've always been the guy that just done your own solo, like your Cannibal Adderley, your Miles, your Coltrane. You're that. And with the one-man show, the beauty to me watching it all come to fruition was you strung all of them together and you made your kind of blue. You know what I mean? Because you had other moving parts. And this slideshow was a little bit of a cheat, but hey, whatever. No, you said that there was like a Matisse in the prison. They had art in the prison, and one of them had been stolen and replaced with an exact ripoff.
I remember this, right?
And no one knew it for like a year. Oh no, it was like a Klimt, like Virgin Mary Klimt. It was something religious, and they would pray to it every day.
Right.
The Mexican guys and stuff, they went to this thing religiously because it was a religious painting from like the 16th century, and they had it in the prison. Yeah. And you said and this, not you said, but it is what happened. Right. One of the guys and a couple of the guys were like, "This isn't it," and it made you laugh so hard to picture like a criminal, like a guy named Knuckles, down in the pew going, "I think this is inauthentic." That was the sentence. Inauthentic. It's inauthentic. Do you remember it now?
It's inauthentic.
This is this looks inauthentic. Do you remember it?
So funny. Now, vaguely. I remember that story, though.
But it's like a hysterical story that an audience goes, huh? Yeah. Like they give you that one blah.
Yeah.
But something, when you're a comic, it's so great. You said dog whistle. There's something that the frequency that we're listening to stuff on, we're gone.
Right.
We're gone. Like a guy in a pew. And I think a lot of audiences have a hard time. Would you agree with this? To me, the best comedy is what happens off camera. Like when Eddie Murphy goes, the dog don't know his name, Eddie. Watch this. Coco. Where the fuck is he going? I have to picture a dog being insolent and leaving.
Right.
It's not the word, Coco, where the fuck is he going?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they need you to bring it back to what their reaction would be in some weird way.
Yeah. You know? And your act, a lot of it is what's happening way off camera.
So funny.
What's your favorite book of the Bible?
It's deep.
What's your favorite book of the Bible?
Leviticus?
No, it's not.
No, of course. Revelations. What else?
Really?
Well, I mean, it's the most exciting one.
All right. You know what? I will say that. If you're Jerry Bruckheimer, Revelations is your book. I mean, crabs coming out of the ocean.
But I mean,
that's
Luke,
Time
Mark,
Machine.
You're saying the difference between Mark, Luke, Matthew, and...
I know they're kind of the same.
What do you mean the other Bible? Oh.
The old school, the Jewish one?
The other one. Oh.
Which one do you mean, Colin?
The Old Testament.
It's just real estate.
I like
real estate and murder. It's like the goddamn death row story.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, go up to the hill and kill your son. I'm just kidding around. See these? All these cars are yours. You like a Rolex?
Well, that one's kind of played out. I like Lot. I mean,
which one is played out?
Moses.
I like that the book in the Bible that he was played out. It's on the radio too much to Moses.
But I like Lot, of course, the perversion of that whole story and him sleeping with his daughters. It's a sick one. I mean,
it is odd.
They get thrown out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and then he sleeps with his daughters, and somehow that's okay.
But he had nothing to do. He was unconscious, and they made the decision to do it while he was asleep.
That's right.
Let's lay down with him, get him unwind.
Yeah.
And let's lay down with him.
It's kind of hot, I guess, but it's pretty sick.
Literally hot because it was on fire around them. I don't want you to think I thought it was hot to sleep with your daughter.
Yeah, because the wife is a pillar of salt.
Yeah, Anyway. She's a salty broad, huh?
Yeah.
That's something Chip Chipper would say. You clutched your heart like the guy in the big picture.
Yeah.
You just clutched your heart.
How old are these people? Early 40s. Oh, Chip Chipperson.
She's a real salty broad or something, huh?
with those angry eyes over his childhood trauma with his mother sitting all like this. He's like, he just looks at you like this at the Cellar.
Who, Jimmy?
Yeah,
Chip Robinson?
Chip.
Oh,
yeah. He looks at you, but he's trying to be funny, but his eyes are so angry. It's really sick. Oh, evil.
I always like Matthew.
Matthew, why?
It's kind of like Jesus as a Buddhist. Like everything gets. Bobo pulls up in a pink Cadillac, 2 white women, one on each arm, floor-length leather coat in July, and they're like, "This is our guy.
Yeah,
this is Captain America. It's Bobo Brazil. No bigger star in the universe shines brighter than this man for these nerdy children in Long Island."
Of course.
And they go, "Bobo, will you sign this?" And then when I called, I made the Iron Sheik so mad he walked out.
No.
He was in studio and he pissed his pants. You haven't seen any of this like on YouTube? The Iron Sheik just sitting in the studio with piss in his pants. He's got a real bad like alcohol problem and delusion problem. And he's in studio and I just called up one day and I'm like with my baby, like feeding him at 6 a.m. on the West Coast. And I'm like, "Who's in studio?" Is it E-Rock? And he goes, "Oh, it's the Iron Sheik." I go, "Oh, let me put him on. Tell him I'm a big fan." And they go, "Oh, big fan, Jay Mohr." I go, "Hey, you son of a bitch, I'm right outside. When you come outside and say it to my face, I'll fucking kick the shit out of you." And he goes, "Fuck you, you motherfucker. Fuck you in your ass." And he goes, "Okay." And he signs an autograph and he touches all of their shoulders. He said, I don't know how he did it, but there's 4 of us, and he held all of us like we were just one like bar. And he goes, "Stay in school, kids." "Stay in school." And he walked away, and they all stood there speechless. And Marty turned to his friend Alan and goes, "We can leave school?" And they never went back. They never dawned on them that you like could leave school.
He made a choice. Bobo Brazil ruined their lives. That's the saddest. Yeah, I remember him. He was quite a.
Did you hear Opie and